What's going on, guys? Dobros! Back at you with another video, and today we will be talking about the Golden Lion himself, Shiki. Now, who is Shiki? What is up with his chin? Why does he have a weird mustache? And why is there a steering wheel coming out of his head? All of these answers will be answered today here on Durabros channel. But before we get into that, I just would like to ask you to please subscribe and support me in my endeavors when I'm explaining One Piece characters. That's right, I go over all One Piece characters, all 10,286 of them. Yes, there's probably about that many. Don't Google it. Anyway, guys, who is Shiki? What has he done, and why is he prominent to the story? Shiki is actually one of the only characters we don't get a full glimpse of in One Piece whatsoever. So when we first see a silhouette of Shiki, he's kind of this mysterious character we hear about, the legend of Shiki, how he was the first and only to escape Impel Down, the unbreakable prison. But he managed to do so somehow. And then Strong World, the movie, is released, and we see exactly how this mischievous man does it. He does it by gruesomely cutting off his legs and replacing them with swords, and using his devil fruit powers to fly away. He ate the float fruit, which allows him the ability to float. Yes. OP ability? Yes, if you know how to use it correctly. He uses it in ways that I couldn't even fathom, right? So he basically, what he can do is he can touch you and make you float. So he makes heavy-ass objects, air particles, everything float around him. He can even control the air density to become lions and attack you. It's pretty cool. So Shiki has this really cool-ass helmet because he's an idiot. Yes, Shiki is an idiot. So when he was on board a ship, an accident occurred during an attack from Roger, where he basically slid all the way forward, the helm broke, the fucking mast steering thingy, the rudder steer thingy broke, and it stabbed into his head. Hence, his helmet. It's a pretty cool look if you ask me. He's got the mane of a lion. I think that's why they call him the Golden Lion, is because he's famous for his mane. Now, Shiki is prominent also because he is one of the big three from that golden era that we heard of, okay? And we hear it directly from Garp and Sengoku when they're talking about some of the strongest. So right now in the current story, we know of 4 of the previous era that were the strongest, the highest of the strongest, okay? And that includes the Rocks Pirates, Shiki the Golden Lion, Goldie Roger, and Whitebeard, okay? And including the Gold Rocks Pirates, we have Big Mom, Kaido, and possibly Shaki. Yes, and in the Roger Pirates, we have Roger, and of course Rayleigh. And in the Whitebeard Pirates, we obviously have Whitebeard, Vista, Jozu, right? So heavy hitters in the One Piece world, all of the big 4 of the previous era, right? Shiki was one of them. Now, as far as Shiki's crew goes, we don't really know much about that, but we do know that he has a great war listed under his belt, that he went to war with Roger and lost. He had a grand fleet of about 50 ships, and it was just Roger's, Oro Jackson. And Shiki was easily wiped out, ended up having a fucking steering wheel shoved into his cranium, okay? If you call that a crushing defeat, that is a crushing defeat. That dude just got massacred, right? So, what happened to Shiki after that? Well, he decides he is going to wipe out the East Blue to get revenge over Roger. He hears about Roger's death. He is so enraged. And full of rage, he attacks Marineford directly, causing ships, mountains even, to pile up on Marineford, and he slices and dices multiple masses of soldiers. I mean, we're talking somewhere in the thousands. All these soldiers just died under Shiki, and Shiki laughing and crying after that, in the name of Gold Roger, his rival, his friend. Yes, Shiki was in despair when Roger's death happened, so he attacked the HQ itself. But who stopped him? No other than Garp and Sengoku. They threw down with Shiki, and I always assumed that was why Garp and Sengoku were labeled as heroes, but no, that's just one of their many feats. But yes, Shiki was taken down and sent to Impel Down, where he lay. This is the scene we have from Marine HQ, and as you can see, there's Shiki, and he's standing over all the dead bodies. It is a mountain of dead bodies. Back then, he had top hair. Wow. But now Shiki is old, he's kind of frail, he is, you know, sitting on top of a throne, recruiting members to wipe out the East Blue and go to war and take it over. He wants to have this kind of poison that succumbs everything it touches. And that's kind of crazy, right? Shiki's a crazy ass bastard. But if you look at this panel to me, so One Piece Treasure Cruise, if you guys haven't played it, you should go and try it out. It's a wonderful game. You can collect all of your favorite One Piece characters. I've done a video on my channel. In fact, it's the biggest as far as hits goes on my channel. It's a very good video. I would go check it out. But this picture, basically what they do is Bandai sends Oda artwork and, you know, basic rundown of what they want, and Oda draws it and sends it back to them. Okay, so this image right here, we have the Golden Lion fighting against the dragon. Now that is deep symbolism for not only Japanese mythology but also Chinese mythology, right? Where you have the dragon fighting the lion for eternity, circling. It's a representation of eternal youth is what it is, and that's an interesting thing. Maybe that was Shiki's entire goal and we just didn't get to his backstory because Oda just didn't have time. Okay, but Shiki is an incredible character. I'm so surprised we haven't touched more on him since he was name dropped, because it was revealed that, yeah, he was a rival of Rogers. He was a big name, you know, and we don't get many of those. I mean, I think the last canon one we got, the most recent canon one we got other than the Rocks was probably Don Chinjao, you know, who only had a bounty of 500 million. Now, again, with inflation and everything, that was probably a lot bigger bounty back then, but still, you know, we haven't had anybody from the golden era of Pirate Age previously name dropped like this. So Shiki is definitely a heavy hitter. Don't think that it was canon that Luffy defeated this man, because there's no way. Okay, this man could wipe the floor with anybody 10 ways to Sunday. Excuse me, I just get so excited talking about the golden era of the Pirate Age. This new era with the supernovas, nothing. Okay, nothing. Garp even says this in the canon of the manga. He says that basically, if you had all 11 supernova and you let them out into the new world, previously, in the previous era, they would all be wiped out, okay? Because the forces back then were a lot stronger than they are now, okay? So that's just crazy to think, and that's true even today, right? Because if you think about, you know, previous explorers, today we pretty much have the knowledge, the capabilities to move forward because of those previous explorers. So those previous explorers, obviously, if they made it out alive, they had to have been 10 times stronger than anybody today, so that we could progress further in humanity. Wow, duo, that was so deep. I know, guys, I know, but this is a Shiki video, okay? Now, Shiki is said to possibly reoccur in the story. I don't know. Okay, we have this image here. There's a lot of theories circling around this. It's a toss-up, guys. It's a toss-up. The reason I say it's a toss-up is because we don't know. We don't have the knowledge to even comprehend, you know, really where Shiki is today. He could be there, or he might not be there. We don't know, okay? I don't think he's coming back. I am one of the few that think that Shiki is just kind of gone forever. Because in this scene, I don't think Crocus is drinking with Shiki, although it is pretty crazy, the color scheme and the similarities. Sure. But again, I don't think so. For one, Shiki's cup was way bigger than that one. For two, why would Oda bring back Shiki? Now, that's an interesting question. If Oda were to bring back Shiki, how would he do it? How would he reintroduce a character that was on Roger's level? Could it be possible that Shiki was name-dropped with a purpose? To train Luffy in further endeavors, rather than be an enemy like he was in Strong World. But, here's my concern. Excuse me. Whenever we get a character like this that's used in a movie, the company making the movie always has to have permission from Oda and specs from Oda before they release this character in the movie, right? Hence Guild Tazara. Guild Tazara is another canon character that is in the manga that we read about a little bit, and is called the Monster of the New World, and then we get Film Gold, right? Oda does these special chapters to promote movies, okay? it doesn't mean that these guys are going to be any significance to the main story. Now, they will have their own stories in the movies. Take it as canon, take it as not. That's up to you. It's completely subjective. That's just my views on how Shiki is not going to reappear in the main story, but he very well may. And the same token, Oda can do whatever he wants. It's his manga. That being said, take that with a grain of salt, because, you know, they could always say, no, don't do that, or, you know, because he's got editors-in-chiefs. But anyway, back to Shiki. Yes, so Shiki probably does have this kind of relationship with Crocus. He probably does kind of have a friendship, because with any rivalry, if you've ever played any sport or if you've played any type of competitive gaming, you develop kind of a friendship with your rivals. It's just what you do over time. You see them over and over again, you compete against them, you give them a good handshake, and it was a good competition, win or lose. And that's kind of what's happening in this scene if this is indeed Shiki. They're kind of just drinking together, laughing it up, having a good time, and deciding to let bygones be bygones. Now, what is it about Shiki that is so cool, that is so apparent? Why are so many fans drawn to him? And I really think because this is kind of the first character that we can build around. There's so much mystery and hype behind Shiki, it's insane. Okay, so we have, not only do we know Shiki's backstory, we know that he competed against Roger. Roger, the king of the pirates. This man competed against. Now, let me say that again. We know he was defeated. Okay, but on the same token, he was rivals with both Whitebeard and Roger. Okay, so these are the big three of the previous era: Shiki, Whitebeard, and Roger. Okay, now I believe this to be the order as well. I believe it went Roger, Whitebeard, and Shiki. Okay, I believe those were the big three that could rival the Rocks Pirates. Okay, now who are the Rocks Pirates? I guess I'll touch on them in this video because they do tie in. So the Rocks Pirates were basically the biggest head honcho of the pirate era, and Garp is the one who defeated them. Now, is it a crew or is it one person? We don't know that. We do know that they were on top of the era back then, and that's why Garp is labeled the hero. Now, these guys were in cahoots with the Rocks, or they were up against the Rocks. That's what I can't figure out. And a lot of you are saying, well, Mason, well, duo bros. What do you mean they were in cahoots? They can't be in cahoots with the rivals. Yes, they can. Look at Kaido and Big Mom. They are in cahoots with each other. They know each other very well. And Big Mom did get, you know, cow-tipped by Kaido. But that is not to say that they didn't know each other. They didn't work together. They knew each other and worked together very well. Okay? But anyway, guys, that's it for this video. I will be touching on Whitebeard hopefully soon. I'm just trying to gather a little bit more self-esteem, a little more pride to my channel when I talk about these characters, because I'll be honest with you guys, it's been a rough couple of weeks. That's why I haven't posted much. But I love you all. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It means the world to me. And for you guys who have subscribed to me since day one, I love you all. Duo Bros Nation! Be strong. Love you all. Duo Bros. Signing out.